Cornerstones, an important quality or feature on which a particular thing depends or is based. For many years now, the cornerstone of my betting has been analysing, refining and quantifying the successful habits of profitable trainers. Or, put another way, I back guys who I know how to win. And these days I consider myself one of the pre-eminent experts on trainer patterns in UK horse racing. That's a bold claim, I know, so allow me to add some colour to it. First, let's go back to the start, or at least near the start. I'm Matt Bisogno, and here I am with my dad and my 7-month-old son Leon. I've been betting on horses for exactly 25 years now. I know, I don't seem old enough. Well, I started when I was about 16 with a 50p here and a pound there, and like all newcomers, I didn't really know what I was doing. My first system was to bet the horse that won last time, especially if it was favourite. At this point, I can hear a few people listening to this sniggering out there, but hey, we've all got to start somewhere, right? The great thing about this approach was that it had a really high strike rate, almost exactly 1 in 3, and it actually didn't lose too much money, about 7p in every pound. So I felt like I was doing okay. Now, clearly, as a fresh-faced Saturday punter, and one who wasn't keeping records, I had no clue that I had a slow puncture and was leaking cash week after week. To be honest, I probably didn't improve on that style for about 5 years, until I went to university and took a degree course which included a statistics module. That was a bit of a wake-up call for sure, and at the same time I was at uni, I'd taken a part-time job working for those lovely people at William Hill, which meant that I could watch a lot of racing, and I could also watch a lot of mug punters. Don't get me wrong, I was still a fully fledged member of the Mug Punters Club myself, and I was still contributing regularly to the BBV, the Bookies Benevolent Fund. That was about 20 years ago now, and computing was still in its relative infancy. I was able to use a machine at the university with WordPerfect, a typewriter program installed, and I had a stats program as well, but I wasn't smart enough to know how to analyse racing data automatically, mainly because I didn't have any data. So it was pen and paper for me, and still quite a lot of feel, which is to say, guesswork. I was at least starting to buy books full of stats, such as the Timeform Annual Handicap Ledger, and also various trainer and jockey analyses. So, although my punting was still unsophisticated, I was at least starting to do more of the right things. Though discipline remained an issue, and if I'm completely honest, it still does from time to time. Anyway, to cut a long story short, it wasn't until around 2005 that I really honed in on trainers as the most likely route to profit. I had my favourites for sure, just like everyone else, but they had usually achieved favourite status as a result of me landing a decent return, as opposed to because they were consistently profitable to follow. And then, in 2006, I discovered a product called Trainer Trends, which linked certain trainers to certain tracks where they were profitable to follow. I bought it, and I loved the concept. Although it was basic, it was a level above what I'd seen before, and it was almost profitable. Almost. I can't remember precisely now, but I think it made a loss of something like 3p in the pound, which, to all intents and purposes, was breaking even. Like I say, I loved the concept, and from then on, trainer patterns have been my central tenet of betting. In fact, I thought I could create a bit of research which was similar to trainer trends, but better, by looking more deeply into trainer habits. Which is how, in late 2006, Trainer Track Stats was born. That report went on to make a tidy profit over the national hunt season, and, now under the stewardship of my great friend Gavin Priestley, continues to pay its way year after year. Here we both are in a photo in the sales blurb of the original 2006-7 Trainer Track Stats manual. Such fresh-faced youngsters. Fast forward to 2011 and I released a part of my own personal trainer-based betting portfolio exclusively to geegeez readers called Winning Trainers. Winning Trainers was based around those handlers who scored at value prices in the 6 to 1 to 16 to 1 range. It was a very loose concept and it became a victim of its own success to some degree, despite plenty of big price winners. Its beauty was its simplicity, but I confess, it was too simple. You see, any trainer who consistently wins with decent priced horses will soon notice bookmakers pricing their runners up shorter. And those trainers who perform at the top of their trade can only stay under the radar for so long. There comes a point when the odds on their horses diminish and, in parallel, so does the value. The likes of Roger Varian and Charlie Longsdon were founder members of the Winning Trainers Club, but their high win strike rates meant that the market soon cottoned on and the value was sucked from their horses' odds. Gradually, a lot of the likeliest winners ducked under the 6 to 1 bar to entry I'd set, and the horses running for my upwardly mobile trainers in the 6 to 1 to 16 to 1 bracket no longer represented the value they once did. The trainers kept on, and keep on, winning, but the odds now mean that plenty of those winners fall outside of the original range, even though the strike rates remain consistent. And that's a big part of this game, staying ahead of the crowd, spotting the next big things before everyone else. That's one of the things I've become extremely adept at over the years, as regular readers of geegeez will know. The other issue was that, because we were betting between 6 to 1 and 16 to 1, we had to endure long losing runs. Now, I don't really like long losing runs, though I can tolerate them for long-term profit. But most people hate them, and that's fair enough. Those issues were frustrating for me and followers of Winning Trainers, and they served to underpin a change to the rules and a new beginning. It was time to evolve again. I knew I had to dig deeper to find sub-trends that would take longer to be unearthed by the general betting public. It's always going to be the case that people will cotton on eventually, but I wanted to make sure that wasn't going to happen anytime soon. Winning Trainers 2.0 is a new piece of research which takes the core components of all of my trainer analyses to date and blends them into a single punter-friendly package, which is set to generate plenty of fun and profits over the coming 12 months. I've been tracking these selections live now since the beginning of February, and I'm really excited at how they're going. With a much more healthy strike rate and a great return on investment, Winning Trainers 2.0 is sure to bring a smile to many a punter's face in the coming days and weeks. In fact, it's already met with the approval of my peers in the horse racing website community, as you may have seen earlier this week. And on Monday, I'll share with you the full chapter and verse on Winning Trainers 2.0's performance to date. I promise you it's impressive and you won't want to miss that. I'll show you all the facts and figures behind it so you can see for yourself what an impressive bunch these guys are. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching and listening, and have a great weekend. Oh, and if you've any questions or comments, do leave them in the box below this video. I'd love to hear from you. This is Matt Bisogno saying bye for now.